Hey friends, you are Crafting with Kim Byers, and today we are making Halloween decorations. So I host a couple of parties for Halloween, a couple of Halloween parties later in October, and I'm going ahead and starting to decorate the house now. And so I'm starting to make Halloween decorations and pull out all the decorations from last year. And so I thought it would be really fun to show you guys how to make a party banner. So we are going to make a Frankenstein today. So we're going to make a Frankenstein party banner, but I'm going to show you how to do jack-o'-lanterns or ghosts or black cats or spiders, whatever the theme is that you have going for your Halloween decorations this year. I'm going to show you how to make a really cute banner out of felt. So if you've not worked with felt before, there's a couple of tips and tricks that you're going to want to know, but it is so easy and it's so cute, and it's a project that you can keep for year after year. So let's head over to Cricut Design Space. I'm going to show you how to pick the right designs. I'm going to show you how to modify them so they work great for a banner, and then we'll head over to the craft table and put it all together. Let's go. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and I just pulled in some designs that I thought would be really fun to work with. So I pulled in, various shapes of bats. This little ghost, I like the little individual ghost because you could layer that. That would be really cute. But then this one was like holding hands. I thought he was adorable. And then you've got the webs, or you could do a spider where you're, putting the holes, the little string holes here for the spider on the web, or just do a really big spider. And then we have our Frankenstein. Isn't he cute? We're going to use this guy. And then there's black cats, there's jack-o'-lanterns. There are thousands and thousands of images. You can search in this bar here, or you can search over in the left-hand navigation by project type. And what I would say is that you would really just want to do cut only for this particular project. But you could just, search for black cats, and it pops up with 2,000 results. So there's going to be plenty of things for you to pick from. So let's close out of this because we already have our designs. And so if I were using the bat, I would put the holes here, and I'm going to show you how to create those holes. If I were doing this guy, I would put them in multiple spots, maybe one in each, the top of each ghost. And then these you wouldn't even need for the webs, the spider webs, you wouldn't even need holes because you could just weave it through the web itself. And the nice thing about the Cricut is it's going to be able to cut out those intricate, beautiful little details, and they're going to be flawless. And then you've got the cat, so you could do, on his back, and then you could do even the ears, maybe here on the black cat. So you can really take any design that you can find in Cricut Design Space and make that into a banner. And here's how you do it. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and turn off all of these elements so that we're not distracted. So of these three designs, I'm going to turn this one off. And this one's really cute, but I kind of love this guy over here. So what we did with this is if you bring him out and make him a little bit bigger. And so this is my final up here. So you see that he has less detail, and I have holes here. So I love the really detailed cuts, but then I don't necessarily want to cut all of those elements. So I go into layers and I pick the ones that I want to keep. So I'm going to turn off that top layer of black. It's cute, but I don't think it's necessary, especially with felt, because it would, the layering would end up getting really thick. I think 3 pieces of felt's probably enough. And then I'm thinking about eliminating the eye covers. And then I am going to go up. I want to keep the purple eyes, and I think I'm going to eliminate one level of the white in the eye. So see how cute he is? That turned out darling. So now that we have all of these elements, now what you want to do is we want these little holes. So we're going to go over into shapes. We're going to grab a circle, bring it over. We're going to make it smaller. Okay, and so now once he's on top, and then we can duplicate that so that we have the exact same hole twice. We'll move that over to where we think that's going to work. So once you have your circles in place, click on that circle and then look over into your layers and find that basic cut. And then use your shift key and highlight it. And so then you can see here that the slice tool is now highlighted or is available. It's not grayed out like the contour one is. So then we hit slice. Okay, and so now you can grab this piece, this element, and you're going to send it to the back. and you're going to take this little cut, this little circle that you have here, and we're going to delete it. And then once you delete it, you're like, well, it's still there. It's not. Actually, it's 2 times, so it sliced it out of the black material. And so when you delete the second one, now you can see the little grid behind it because now it is an actual hole. So let's do that again. So let's grab our circle that we put on the side, and we'll grab this piece. So now it says slice result, because you have sliced it once, but you're just going to hit the shift key and you're going to get that little hole, and then you're going to go down to slice and do that again. See, it blinks, and so now you're just going to need to take that top part and send it back to the back, and then we'll take our circle and delete that, and then we'll click and delete the second one. So now again you can see the grids behind both of these circles. And so now what you want to do is just grab your entire little Frankenstein guy there and hit group, so it brings it back, so it will, you know, stay together when you shift or change sizes, that kind of thing. So right now it's 7.5 inches wide by 8 inches tall, so that's a little large. So we're going to reduce that. I would say a banner is usually 4 inches wide. Now you do have to account for these little guys, so you may want to be, you know, 4.4, something like that. And so the banner is about 5 inches tall, so that's about perfect. And so then what you do, honestly, is you just duplicate it. So then you're going to duplicate it for how many ever you want on your banner. And you could switch things up by adding something in between the Frankensteins. So you could put some other element, some other Halloween element there in the middle. It could be something as simple as a pumpkin or whatever the case may be. Or you could just have tons of cute little Frankensteins. Okay, so now let's just go up and grab that top one, and I'm going to hide it. If you go up into Color Sync, you can see how many of these things you have. So we don't really need to have our eyes be one color black and then our body be another color black. So you could literally just move all of those together. Whoops, there we go. Move all of those up. And we have our maker. So we have that selected. You could, however, use your anything from the Cricut Explore family and even that Explore 3. Okay, and so then select Make It. So there are all of our eyes, our white eyes, and then there are all of our little heads and the black portion of the eyes, and then we have all of our little faces, and then we have all of our purple eyes. So we are going to be using 4 different colors, and we'll have 5 different mats. Okay, so we can go ahead and select Continue. Then we'll just select our device. Okay, so it found our maker. And now we can go and browse all material and just select felt or search for felt. And so there's all these different felts here. This top one is going to most likely be like the felt you find in the craft store that's kind of flimsy. We are going to be using Cricut brand, which is like a craft bonded felt. So done. Okay, and so now I am going to be using my maker, so I can edit these tools and use my rotary blade, but you can also use your fine point, and that's perfectly fine, and you could use that fine point in a Cricut Explore as well. Okay, so now we're ready to hop over to the craft table, and I'll show you everything that we're using, and we'll do our first cut. Here we are on the craft table, and these are all the things that we're going to be using today. So the Cricut felt comes in assortments, and this one is called Spring Rain, and it has both the green and the purple in it. There's another that's called Carousel that has the black and the white, and then all of the basics like red, blue, green. And so then we're going to be using a green mat. I have a couple of types of ribbon. I have my Extreme Elmer's glue. I probably will not need this because candidly this felt, when it comes off of the mat, it literally kind of like bounces, you know, right back, and it pops off easily like it's a perfect cut, and I'll show you all about that. And then I do usually keep some gift wrap tape around just in case my mat is not as sticky as it used to be, and then that way I can secure it at the corners. Okay, so let's move this out of the way, and we are going to start with our green. So I have decided to not only do the Frankenstein, but I am going to separate my Frankenstein with some bats. So we are going to do some little bats as well out of black. That's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's put a little bit of tape on this corner. This mat has gotten pretty old and I really need to grab a new one. Okay, so let's go over to our maker. Okay, so here we are at our Cricut Maker. So we want to put it under the feeds and feed the felt in. And then I want to change my blade. So this blade will work. This is my fine point blade, but I'm actually going to change that into my rotary blade. Just close the clamp. Go. So here we are back on the craft table, and it's time to take our felt off and see what I mean. It cuts beautifully. It just kind of pulls away. See, it even pulled out each of these little scars. That's going to be so fantastic. So let's get the others off. Okay, so let's go ahead and load our next color and get everything else cut out. Just a quick tip, even though we don't need our scraping tool to pull up our material, we can use it to clean off the felt that is left over, especially those tiny little scars. Okay, we'll just clean that off and then we'll put down our next color. Okay, so now back on the craft table, we have all of our items cut out. So we have our Frankenstein head, our little eyes, more eye pieces, and then the face. And these are the little bats that I'm going to put in between each one. So I'm going to set those out of the way for a moment, and I'm going to take one base, and then we're just going to overlay on top of that. Now I want to show you this. So with the green, you can tell that it did actually cut out, but there's still a little bit of fuzzy material between that. So you can take your Cricut tool and just clean out those little cuts and get that extra fuzz out. So see, it's just got more, felt fuzz in there. So clean that out so that your scars look good and crisp. There we go. Okay, so then we just start overlaying the design onto the felt. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue and just go ahead and place this one down, and then we'll start layering on the eyes. So these felt projects are really just that easy. I'm going to place a little bit of glue, and I don't want to get it wherever our scar is because I don't want to see any white in between that. And then once we get this all glued down, we're just going to weave our ribbon in between, and we'll be ready to hang. He's gonna be so cute. Okay, so now I have all of my Frankenstein together, and my bats are just one layer. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my ribbon and then just start working it through. And I think what I want to do is I want to put the ribbon going backwards so most of the purple is on the back. I want that splash of purple, but I don't necessarily, want it going across his head like a headband. So we'll do this, and then we will work on the next. And I like to leave my ribbon on the spool when I do this, just to make sure that it's long enough. That way I don't have to worry about, cutting it too short or something like that. Okay, so then with my bat, just gonna go in, and it'll go behind. And so once I'm done with this, I'll put on the next Frankenstein and just keep going. Okay, so our little felt banner is all done, and so now I think I will hang it with some other, like a beaded banner or a beaded string, and then maybe some tassels, and kind of fun it up and put it on my fireplace. Now, felt is going to hold up from year to year. Paper, if you store it correctly, you can do that as well, but it does tend to fade a little bit more. So if you want to create something that you're going to be able to keep long lasting, I strongly suggest the felt. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed making those party banners. I hope that you like the little Frankenstein. It's so fun. I mean, honestly, this would be a great cut to put on a t-shirt and all kinds of things. It doesn't just have to be out of felt. And I hope that you hop down in the comments below and talk to me. Tell me what's going on and what you are making for Halloween. And I would also, if you have any questions about what we did here today, please leave those down below as well. And I also put links to everything that we used today down in the description. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.